What is up, everyone? TF32 is here. Finally back on Ride 5. I promised you guys some Ride 5 content for this year. I know it's been late, but believe me, I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life. I'm at the end of school for, like, ever. And that's going to be ending on Wednesday. And I am taking off to Scandinavia with Salem, who I had on my channel for the entirety of Season 6 for GeoGuessr. And we're going there for about 12 days. But when I get back, Season 9 should be completed, and I think after that I'm going to get started on the Alucard runs, and then after that I'll probably find some time to start the Ride 5 League. And I think I'm going to film it in the first person, basically as I am riding. I mean, I'm not riding in first person, but I'm going to be doing post-production commentary live, and I'm not going to view the replay, because I've noticed with the replays, have the bikes very zoomed in, and it just doesn't seem realistic. So I'm just going to have post-production commentary. I'll be snipping the races together, and hopefully they should make for pretty good races. But why am I here? I'm not starting the league just yet, but I do have an update, and I just published V4. So let's go to race creator, and we'll get my competitions up. So we're going to go to V4. That's the most recent one I uploaded. I uploaded this on Thursday. But we're going to show the details. And 3 downloads already. Thank y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I'm happy you guys are enjoying my liveries and my league. So, I have made some changes. We're going to have a 10-minute qualifier, and I'm upping it to 20 races versus the 16 that I had before. And I did this so that I could compensate for all 20 of the tracks that have made it on the calendar between 2002 and 2006. So, no change to the category, no change to the riders or any of that stuff. But the big thing is the calendar. Unfortunately, not all the tracks are available. But I can at least create a narrative, and we can pretend everything. We can rename the Grand Prix like they took place there. Like they're actually taking place at the track. There are a few exceptions, though, where they will, believe it or not, make their way in. So we have 20 rounds. Random weather, so I have no idea what kind of weather we're going to have at any of the tracks. But our first track is a coveted track in MotoGP, and it has been raced on for over 20 years for loads of reasons, and that's the Suzuka circuit in Suzuka, Japan. So we're going to start with that round, and we're using the F1 chicane because unfortunately the layout changed. Starting from 2004, there was a chicane added after the Suzuka hairpin, or whatever the hairpin's called, I forget. But we are starting there because it has been early part of the calendar, all the way up until its demise at the end of the 2003 season. This track was taken off the calendar, the biggest reason being the final chicane led to the death of the late Daijiro Kado, who was supposed to fill the boots of the second movie star Honda Gresini ride, and that ended up being taken over by Ryuichi Kiyanari a couple full races after his death. So that's why we don't see it, but it is one of the 20 tracks, so I've included it. Next up, I have Kanto. It's a fictional track, and it's a very difficult track to get right, but the reason I have this is because there's no Shanghai. And also, another thing, I have structured the schedule to align with travel costs and not having to use as much fuel to get from place to place. So we have the flyways at the start of the season and pretty much at the end. So Kanto takes the place of Shanghai International Circuit. We have another massive flyway to Kyalami because we don't have the Fakiza Freeway Circuit in Velcom. So Kyalami is going to take the place of that. And another thing I just noticed is that the map layout of the track is wrong. There's no option for that chicane, even as an option to ride on it. And after that, we're supposed to go to Qatar, to the Lusail circuit, but we don't have that. So I have to pick some random circuits here and there. So we're going to Oulton Park. And after that, we go to Snetterton, which is going to be the place of the Turkish Grand Prix, because unfortunately no Istanbul Park. That was only on the calendar for 3 seasons, but the important thing is it was present during the 990 era. And after that, we go to the European Tour. We go to Almeria, because there's unfortunately no Jerez. We go to Le Mans, then Mugello, and for the Circuit de Catalunya, for the Catalan Grand Prix, we have Canadian Tire. And then we go to Cadwell Park, which will take the place for the Dutch TT. And then we go to the Nürburgring, which will take the place of Sachsenring for the German Grand Prix. Then we head over to Donington Park. And then we actually go over to Algarve for the Czech Grand Prix, because there's no Brno. I would like to give it a shout out. It is finally returning to the calendar after a full 4-season absence. So I'm not the biggest fan of Brno, but it does have a rich history within Grand Prix motorsports. So nice to see it back. I know a lot of people are happy to see it return. And then we have the flyways, the final flyways. First off, we go to Jacarepaguá. That's in Rio de Janeiro. And taking the place of that, obviously, is the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo. So we'll go to there. Then we go to Laguna Seca. I don't know why the hell there's no Phillip Island in this game. So we go to another Commonwealth country, the UK, and we go to Brands Hatch, where the AI are extremely competitive. Then we go to Autopolis, because unfortunately there's no Sepang. Don't worry, I'm going to cover all this after all this. We go to Autopolis, and then we go to Fuji, because we don't have Twin Ring Motegi, which is supposed to be the 18th round. Then the final 2 rounds we do have. So we go to Circuit do Estoril and Circuit Ricardo Tormo for the Valencian Grand Prix. So, overview. This is what it is supposed to be. We start off the season with Suzuka. So we have Flyway straight away. Then we fly over to Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix. Then Fakiza Freeway for the South African Grand Prix. Then we go to a minor flyaway. I mean, it still actually is a major flyaway, the distance from South Africa to Qatar. We go to Lusail, and then we do a minor flyaway to Istanbul Park, which is practically Europe. Then we start the formal European tour, going to Jerez, Le Mans, Mugello, Circuit de Catalunya, Assen, Sachsenring, Donington Park, and Brno. Then we do our final round of flyaways, Jacarepaguá in Rio, then Laguna Seca, Phillip Island, Sepang, and Twin Ring Motegi. Then we do a flyaway from Eastern Asia all the way to the Iberian Peninsula, where we end with Estoril and Valencia. So that's how I structured this season. There were 20 tracks that took part in those 5 seasons, and I tried to accommodate best I could so we have 20 slots for the season. So I hope you all make sense of this. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of this? And I'm also considering adding a Mario Kart League, possibly even a South Park League. What do you guys think of this? Should I do this, or are you happy with what I got here? Because I do enjoy times where I'm able to be creative and just do these what-if scenarios, create an alternative universe. So yeah, this will be coming to the channel probably sometime in mid-June. I'd like to set my schedule because I'm starting work full-time by the time I get back. And I will have a couple days off from the time I arrive, a couple of full days off, because I do start full-time on the Thursday. I arrive back on Monday evening. But yeah, this is the league. I would like to thank you all for watching this update video, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I will see you guys in Season 9 of Conker's GeoGuessr. Take care.